Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Lu. Today, I want to talk about a very controversial and sensitive topic called ABSD for cars. So, if you would like to, listen to this topic, please hit like and subscribe, and let's get on with it. Okay. So, cars in Singapore is a very passionate topic as well. Maybe not in the same light as property, because cars is usually seen as a liability, where property is usually seen as a asset and a wealth accumulator. But cars generally is really a sign of a liability, but it's a necessity to many, or a or an instrument of transport for many, for comfort, for convenience, and maybe even to a point of luxury. So cars should be seen in the same light as property, in the sense that cars take up space, car take up land, okay, except that that land underneath the car is moving. Well, you take up space in the car park, you take up space along the road, okay. Yes, you do pay for road tax and car park space and things like that. But the truth is that cars should be seen in the same light as property, because it does take up precious space. So in that sense, to think about an ABSD for a car is a natural extension of a ABSD for property. Now, today, if you are buying a second property, you get slapped with ABSD. If you're a foreigner, you get slapped with an ABSD. So for a car, if in the same household, if you buy a second car, naturally you should be slapped with an ABSD as well. Now, I would say that for people who are hit with ABSD for cars, usually come from well-to-do family. So they are so well-to-do, and I think that in some sense it is a tax. It's a wealth tax, right? So the wealthy get taxed more. I would just say this: that if you can afford to buy a second car, chances are you can afford to pay ABSD for a car, right? So we shouldn't be too emotional about it. Okay, if you are rich enough to buy a second car, you are rich enough to pay an ABSD. So this would actually help to limit the hit on the pressure, the pressure on the price of COE. So I think this is the first point, right? So now, of course, the details would be, what do you mean by second car per household? Does it cover the children? Does it cover grandparents? All these details need to be worked out. Off my head, maybe children above a certain age will be excluded from this. Grandparents, could possibly be excluded for this. But I think the easiest way to work around it is to just, if you are staying in the same household, each household should have only one car, right? So, but the details are a bit complicated. I'll leave it to the authorities to figure this out. Okay. The second thing is that it's very clear to me that the recent drive up of the COE prices, a lot of it is caused by foreigners, because our population has exploded since COVID reopening. Right now we are at 5.9 million or so. The COE ramp up, right? I would say that quite a large chunk of it should have been come from the foreigners as well. I don't have the official numbers. The numbers I don't think I released, but I would say that a lot of foreigners are responsible for this as well. So by the same logic, land should be a priority for Singaporeans, because this is Singapore, right? So if you are a foreigner, you want to buy a car, you pay more. As simple as that, right? What makes you have the privilege to have the car at the same as the son of the soil, right? So I think it's a very, very important to draw that distinction, right? So if you are a foreigner, we welcome you, we welcome your money. Okay, please pay more for your car. Okay, please pay more for your car. If I had my way, which I don't think you can implement, you should even pay more for a lot of other things. But I think let's not go too far on this. Okay, so I think this is something that, if you agree, please let me know. And the third one is the private hire vehicle, the PHVs, right? The Grab drivers and equivalent. We think that there should be a separate COE class for this group, and they can bid separately of this. It might turn out higher, it might turn out lower. Chances are it should turn out higher, or impose a ABSD if you want to use your car for for Grab purposes, right? So it's controversial in the sense that many people say, okay, you want to impose a higher ABSD for PHVs, private hire vehicles. These would translate to higher fees for passenger, right? Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that of course, when your car prices is higher, naturally the costs will be higher. But fortunately, there are few competitors in this space, so they will compete and drive down prices. And don't forget, a lot of all these PHVs are funded heavily by powerful investors, right? That's driving to push the valuation of the company up, right? So in that sense, I don't think that the impact would be as much. Okay. Besides, right? Besides, the fees are spread over a lot of customers, so maybe the fee per customer impact is not so much. So I think we should consider seriously an ABSD or a different class of COE for our private hire vehicles. So I think combined together, I think there is a strong case for ABSD. Now, unlike property, where a lot of you will fight with me on this topic of property, whether we should allow prices to go up, we should cause prices go down. That's a very controversial topic. But for cars, I think all of us are aligned with this. Car prices need to come down. Okay, car prices need to come down. COE prices need to come down. I've never heard of someone say we should let the car prices appreciate, right? Cars is a liability and not an asset. In 10 years' time, okay, car value will go down to one big fat zero. Okay, so in that sense, no, I think ABSD for cars is something we should be very seriously about. Be very serious about, and I wish that the authority would consider my suggestion to have a ABSD for cars. Right. So with this, if you agree with me, give a resounding like. And I'd like to hear your comments, not just in YouTube, but also in our Telegram page where we discuss about wealth issue and help everybody to become millionaires. My Telegram group is called Lu1M65. Welcome you join. There are 30,000 people there. A lot of community experts with their various expertise to help you. Nobody collects a single cent from the group, so it's really a non-profit and for your good. Okay, so we look forward to the next video and have a chat with you. Okay, thank you and goodbye.